friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my podcast co-host in chaos.
Joanny. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Man.
All right, friends, today we are recapping Drag Race France All-Stars episodes 3, 4, and 5. I had a mental breakdown because I was like, is it RuPaul's Drag Race France? And then I was
No.
like, no, it's just Drag Race France. I'm like, did I just say RuPaul? But yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, that's 3 episodes. They're recapping it. We're only going to give you the spicy part, so don't worry. You already know. If you're new here, that's what we're going to do. If you're not new here, you already know us. But also, before we even get into the recap, make sure you go over to Patreon, subscribe to our channel. It's only $5, and that is patreon.com/nomam the podcast. I'm so excited that Joanny finally got it right, because every time I say $5, she always puts up 10 fingers, and I'm like, that's $10. But you get the point. He is so excited, so he had to do it twice, right? But patreon.com/nomam the podcast. The subscription is only $5. Your support helps us produce more episodes so that we can continue doing this lovely podcast for you. All right, so episode 3, it is the Snatch Game, which is funny because we never really get Snatch Game so early on in the seasons, but for some reason the international seasons are giving us Snatch Game fairly early, which I'm not mad about.
Me neither. I mean, it's an iconic one. And I'm glad we no longer have to wait till like the end of the season. Or not even the end, but like towards middle end of the season to get it.
Yeah. Episode 2, we saw that Magnetica, she went home and she was sent home by Ellipse. Now, obviously, I don't know how good Magnetica would have done in the Snatch Game, so I don't think I really missed her, but it would have been interesting to see. Now, speaking of Snatch Game, they actually did it Family Feud style. I think sometimes international seasons do Snatch Game a little different from the iconic, like they sit and it's like one row on the top and then one row on the bottom. Sometimes it's hard for me to get into it and look at it as a real Snatch Game. And then it's hard for me to understand, one, international seasons, sometimes it's hard to you to understand the characters, not so much the comedy, because I think we can get comedy. If you're funny, right? Like, I think that regardless of what language you're in, but I think sometimes for you to understand the reference, for you to get it, it's like they're doing a good job, or maybe they're not doing a good job. We don't know because you don't get the reference. So based on this, which family would you have wanted to be on? Would you want to be on the, I would say, Family in Paris team, which consists of Mami Wata, Moon, Kim Hugh, La Big Bertha, Punani? Or would you want to be on Noem's family, which was Peach, Ellipse, Soa the Muse, and Misty Phoenix?
What I would have preferred to be on would be on the team with Peach, Lips, Soa, and ooh, I'm horrible with names
Misty
though. It's not
Phoenix.
Misty. I'm horrible with names though. No, it's not being shaded or anything like that. Just because I think it would have allowed me to shine a little bit better on that side. But I think the other team, my personal preference, was funnier. They just had louder characters that I think, you know, were kind of fighting for dominance. Not in a necessarily in a bad way, but they were definitely louder. So I feel like it would have been harder to shine on that side.
No. Actually, I agree, but then I disagree. I would have wanted to be on the Family in Paris one. I don't know. I feel like it was more to play off of on that one.
Mhm.
I think the team with Peach and Ellipse, they were a little bit more cerebral.
Mhm.
And I thought, like, Punani as Louis the 14th, like, she was hilarious. And then you
So
have
funny.
La Big Bertha saying peut-être, peut-être. Like, that was funny.
I was like rolling on the floor laughing. Like I have no idea why this character was singing that song, but I just thought it was so funny, and then everybody joining in, and we just see like this like big like lady, older lady. I don't even know exactly who it is, but like just singing. I thought was so hilarious. That was my favorite moment of the Snatch Game.
Yes, and the prosthesis that La Big Bertha had, like that double chin, I was like, oh my God,
So
she needs to stop this.
double.
This is a
That was
mess.
that was like a quadruple chin, baby.
Yes. I think Mami Wanta, there was potential in her being the Alpha Tower. I think we talked about this before we started recording that could have been a brilliant character. I just don't think she leaned so much into the funny. of the character. And then, I think when the Alpha Tower kind of slipped off her head, that kind of took her. Like you could see that
Mhm.
she was like, oh my gosh, like she could really couldn't recover after that.
Yeah, and honestly, with Mommy specifically, I really did not like her outfit for the Eiffel Tower. To me, it didn't make sense. Like, why do you have a whole bunch of little Eiffel Towers on you? Like, I would have preferred if she had just done like an outfit that kind of shaped her into the shape of an Eiffel Tower, or maybe just the antenna on top. But the sleeves, I was just like, why?
Yeah. Who else I think struggled? Obviously, so were the Muse. Struggled. I was so upset because I was like, wait, this probably has potential. She seemed to be like in character for the guy. I think his name was Jacques. Like, I
Mhm.
thought, she seemed to be like fully aware of who he was. She struggled, and then Kim Hugh also struggled too. I felt like it was just one note and it was very flat.
Yeah, with Soul the Muse specifically, I thought she was doing okay watching it because, like you said, she was in character. Like, she was staying true to who the character was. And then when, she was like, she got those critiques, I was like, oh, I mean, clearly I didn't understand what was going on. But I didn't think she was the worst of the night.
She wasn't bad. She just was flat, right? Like it was kind of one note. I think they wanted to lean into the comedy of it. I think she was so focused on being like Jock that she just kind of like forgot, like, oh, let me make him funny too.
Yeah,
Now,
I
who
can see
did
that.
make us laugh had no idea what she was saying, but that was Misty Phoenix. She was the French version of JoJo Siwa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did I understand the references and jokes she was making? No, but I thought it was hilarious. Like her over the top personality, references to the nose, the super dramatic, overdone nose. I thought was really funny. I think her physical comedy was great. I have no idea who the character was, but in my head, I was just like, oh, she's playing French JoJo Siwa. So I kind of ran with that in my head
Yes,
to kind of understand it, and I thought she know that. Which that's kind of
yes.
problematic to say, actually.
What, French
I
JoJo
like,
Siwa?
yeah, no, I mean, I feel like me equating her character just because I didn't know who that character was to an American character to help me understand seems kind of like, yeah, I apologize. I'm not trying to insult
No, I
anyone.
think that's fine. No,
Yeah.
I
It
don't think
just
that's
seems,
insulting. I don't think it's like you find the reference.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I just don't want it to come off like I am diminishing her character or anything like that. It just makes sense in my head to kind of
I don't
equate
think
those
so.
two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of like the characters that we see across the whole entire world, they all come from someplace. Dorothy, that was the French version of Jojo Siwa. It's a very Jojo Siwa thing to do. Okay, so shall we get into the runway?
Yes.
All right. So the category for episode three's runway is all blown up. Honestly, I didn't understand it because some of them didn't really give me like balloons or inflate. And then that's when I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Okay. But first up, we have Soda Muse. What did you think?
This was no, ma'am. Because at the end of the day, it like she looks cute. It's a cute design. It's a little basic, but it didn't give me like all blown up. Um, like I think it kind of missed the mark on that aspect of it. I think she looks okay. I think she looks cute. It just compared to what some of the other girls presented, I think it left a lot to be desired.
I agree. I also gave it a no, ma'am. I don't think she got, like, I don't think it came across as like ballooning because I didn't really see a inflate versus deflate moment. And so I think that is kind of what threw me off. All right. Next up, we have Ellipse. What did you think?
This was yes, man, for me. I love how, she comes out and it's deflated, and then as she walks down, it's when it inflates and everything stands up. I love the colors on this. I love the idea of it. I think there maybe could have been something added to really elevate it to like an over. But overall, I think this is a good look.
I gave it yes, ma'am, as well. I thought she looked like an exotic coral reef. and I was living for it. And I live for a bob. Even though this is a different kind of bob, it was like a bowl cut. And I was like, oh, this is nice. But
It
this gave
was.
me all blown up. Like it was a difference. When she came out, like it was deflated and then it just inflated when she was on the runway. I was like, oh, it's a beautiful shape to it. Very artistic, very still on brand for her lips. And I was like, I love it. It's just good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have La Big Bertha. What did you think?
I give this a very soft ma'am. I was not a huge fan of the dress. Did not like the design of it, but I really appreciate the fact that it was like all like it was like it stayed true to, or like that it hit the mark on the runway category, which was all blown up. Like, the flower behind her like blooming. I thought that was great. I just was not a really big fan of the actual dress, honestly.
I give this a no ma'am. I didn't understand it. I didn't like it at all.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. And I know that she was referencing like her original look on her original season. I get it, right? And so, she was playing like a nudge nudge wink wink to that, but I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite.
And no, definitely not my favorite at all.
All right. Next up we have Cam Hugh. What did you think?
Yes, ma'am. I wish the moon was bigger. I wish the moon was bigger. I think that would have been better, just so it could have been like a bigger blown up moment. But I think she looks great. She looks really sexy. Love the reference. Overall, good. I just wanted a bigger one.
I gave this a yes, ma'am. I liked it. I was like, oh my God, Sailor Moon. Yes. I got the reference right away, even without the moon. But
Mhm.
I was a little confused as to where was going to be like the inflatable part. And then it was like, oh, the moon, because I didn't see the yellow piece in the back. I just thought it was like a little cape or something. And so I didn't know that it was going to go into a moon. I would say the only thing, if I was a nitpick, the way the moon like inflated was a little wonky.
It would. Yeah, but it's also we got to give props to these girls because I know that's not easy to do. Like I don't know how these girls did pull those things off, but props to all of them that were able to pull it off successfully. And also, this wig was amazing, amazing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. So good. All right. Next up, we have Missy Phoenix. What did you think?
This was a meh for me, and all it came down to was the placement of the balloons on her arms. I just thought was kind of weird. I think she could have gone a little bit bigger. I think she could have. I don't know. I love the dress. I love the actual look. I think what bothered me was just the placement of the balloons on the arms.
I also gave this a meh. I thought the arms looked very like after school project.
Hmm. You can see that.
And I was like, this is not good. Yeah. And that's the only thing. I thought it was very creative because obviously we know Popeye spinach, right? And he like blows up like that. Like that's cute. But it's just the arms just looked like an after school project and it was just bad. And I was like, Missy Phoenix, like, damn, sis. But otherwise, good luck. All right. Next up, we had Moon. What did you think?
This was an absolute over. I think this was the best look of the night. Such a beautiful look. She looked beautiful. She looked radiant. But the story and the message behind it, especially because earlier in the episode, she was talking about like one day she wants to be able to have a family and she hopes that one day, science can catch up and she can have one, like a child of her own that comes out of her body. But I thought this was such a beautiful message to present on the runway. The way the belly grew was so good. She looked great. Like I almost shed a tear when she was coming down the runway. This is one of my favorite looks of all time.
Yeah, I gave it an over. I gave it an over mostly because of how ethereal she looked. The message behind it, I thought was very smart and intentional. And obviously, it was an emotional moment for her. I thought it was really great. I did like tear up a little bit. I thought it was like it was a moment, and I'm not the emotional person. Everybody knows that, but like this was such a really touching moment, and I was like, Moon, that was really good. So, shout out to her. All right, next up we have Peach. What did you think?
This was a no man for me. I didn't really understand it. I did not like the shape of the silhouette of her outfit. What was his name?
Oh my God. I gave this a yes, ma'am. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it was so silly. It was so silly. That's why I liked it. Because it was stupid. It made no sense. The fact that her like body was like ballooned and then the little feet kept moving around. I was like, this is so stupid, but so great.
Mm. It was
And then
campy,
she had
but
the little house on her back. Was
I
it a
know.
house or was it like a kite?
No,
I don't know, but she had something on her back. It was like a backpack or
I know
like
she had something on.
like a little little thing. I don't know what it's called.
Me neither.
I don't know, but maybe. Um, and then we have Punani. What did you think of Punani's look?
I wanted to like this so bad because I think the idea was there. I just feel like the execution could have been better. The flowers, when they blew up, they were not that exciting. I think they could have been done a little bit better, and I think she should have had more flowers. I think she had a great idea that could have been executed better.
Yeah, yeah. I also gave it a meh. I was like, it was okay. I think she got so caught up with like the flowers, right, and the whole like presentation of it all that she kind of forgot about the overall look, in my opinion. And
Hmm.
I just think as overall, the look didn't do what she thought it was going to do, but yet it was still very fashion forward because Punani is a very fashion forward girl. But it's meh. It's all right. All right, and then last but not least, we have Mami Wata.
I think it was really sexy, even though it was like kind of whimsical at the same time. I thought she looked great. I love the fact that she used the same material as like a wig and she was covered from head to toe. I loved it.
I also give this a yes, ma'am. It would have gotten it over, and the reason why I didn't is because I didn't really see a difference between being deflated and inflated.
Hmm.
So the pump really didn't make a like it wasn't that much of a gag
Yeah.
because the like the balloons, they didn't really go from like, oh my god, wow to like wow,
Hmm.
right? It was kind of just like regular.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I shouldn't get an over. But other than that, it was really camp. I love that. All right. So we find out that the winner of the Snatch Game was Misty Phoenix, which made sense because by far I thought Misty Phoenix, even though Punani was also really funny too, but Misty Phoenix was by far the winner of the Snatch Game,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I think she stood out the most. I think for me personally, the funniest was La Big Berta with her character. Like that was more my kind of level of comedy. But it's undeniable that Mr. Phoenix stood out the most from all of them.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, Soda Muse is eliminated. And so if you think of it, they are like coming at the Queen's hard because she
Yeah.
was on Global All Stars. She was a runner up on her first season. I'm like, oh, they getting all the competition out.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like it's strategic, yes, but also if you're looking at the track record, like it was kind of her time to go. Like she hadn't really wowed us at this point as she had done in previous seasons. So I think it was fair, but it's sad to see her go nonetheless.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what happened after Global All Stars, but I feel like we got a different Soda Muse, and I feel like she was kind of deflated. Like she wasn't herself. I don't know what happened, but I think after Global All Stars, maybe the hate or whatever it is, or maybe just not like the recognition of being just like fair treatment or product whatever. I felt like they wanted to lean into that a little bit because she said a little bit. She was like she went on Global All Stars and something, something, and but we really didn't really get into it. But I felt like she wasn't in this competition
I agree.
because we know that Solange Muse can do much
Yeah,
better than she did.
yeah, and it's so sad to see, but no, maybe we'll see her again in like versus the world.
Maybe you never know. Okay, so episode 4, we have the girl group. Now, before we even get into the main challenge, there is a mini challenge. And the mini challenge is kind of like, you remember high school superlatives? Like who's most likely to X, Y, and Z, right? And so the queens had to do that. But this time, they are voting who's most likely to in a series they're calling Miss Drag. And so the first one up was Miss Funny, and everyone thought that Missy Phoenix was Miss Funny. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I don't know. Maybe we're not really getting Missy Phoenix's comedy because I didn't think they was going to put her as being Miss Funny. I thought they was going to do like Mommy Walter.
Um,
I found Mommy Walter to be funny.
yeah, I mean, based off the Snatch Game, it made sense as to why they
Yeah,
chose her that. But overall, what we've seen throughout the season and the edit we've gotten, no, I wouldn't have picked her. But she did great in the Snatch Game.
she did. Next up, we have Miss Messy, where they voted for Mommy Walter, who even voted for herself.
She knew
And by
it.
messy, normally we think it's like messy, like shade or whatever, but it wasn't that messy. It was like bitches messy. Like her workstation is like a mess.
Yeah, that would be me. If y'all could see my vanity. I think I would give Mommy Wata a run for her money. But I love that she knew it. I love that she leaned
Mm,
into it.
yes. Because she's messy.
I
She's like,
know.
I'm disorganized, and
She's
I
like,
know it.
yeah.
And then we had Miss Yum, which is AKA like the trade of the season. And I was surprised that the queen chose ellipse because for me as a viewer, I wouldn't have said that ellipse was a trade of the season because you know how we feel.
I mean, it would have been peace. But I get it. I do think Ellipse is very attractive. It's something about that kind of alternative style that she has that, I can see why people said that. But
Yeah,
personally, Miss
yeah,
Peach can, I'm not gonna say it before we get to monetize.
true. Right. Like, but I also think ellipse is really pretty in drag.
Yes, yes, that too.
Like she's really pretty in drag. And I get it. She leans into that awkward, I don't really think I'm sexy, but I'm sexy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is good.
yeah.
Right, she's not like Peach. If you look at Peach, Peach is very masculine. Now, her mannerisms is probably very androgynous or whatever the case may be, whatever.
Mm.
She has a very masculine exterior. The opposite can be said about Ellipse. Like, Ellipse looks very androgynous. And so I think it's something about, like, leaning into that, too. And, like, the queens not going towards the stereotypical masculine image at sexy. I love that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because who else I think is French and is sexy? Le Grand Dame, baby.
That is a
You know how I feel about
tall
Le Grand Dame. Le Grand Dame is
glass of
fine.
French milk.
What? A French milk?
Yeah,
So milk? Like, it's just milk.
I know, but French. Oh, we. I don't know. La Grande Dame, though. No, you know who I think Nikki Doll is so attractive both in and out of drag, and that is very unfair to the rest of the world. Because bitch, you can't be looking good in both. Like, choose one. Leave some for the rest of us.
All right. I'll give that to you. Then we had Miss Out of Sync. And so that was the one that Who Can Dance. And the queen chose Cam Hugh, which makes sense because very on brand for Cam. And we see that in this challenge. Then we have Miss Drama. And the girls chose Mami Wata. And she was like, listen, she is the drama. Shout out to Scarlet
It
Envy.
is the moment.
Am I the drama? Yeah, Mami Wata. She is the moment. This is her moment. Shout out to Jasmine Kennedy. And then we had Miss Whiny, and the girls chose Punani, who was surprised.
But I think her reaction to it just kind of uh like essentially proved their point. Like, yes, she is the whiniest. But yeah, she was like, me? What? I loved it though.
Yes, it was actually a healthy battle between her and Moon because somebody picked, like, two people picked Moon, and then but the majority of them picked Punani, and so Moon was like, me? And then so Punani was like, me? Like, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And they was both like telling each other how like they weren't like whiny. So that was hilarious. And then we had Miss Diva, which is essentially who thinks like they're the shit. And the girls chose Peach, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Peach thinks she's good at everything.
She does. She does. I see why. I don't know if I necessarily get like full blown diva, but I see why.
Yeah. I don't think it was like diva, like, oh my God, like they're a diva and they have a bad attitude diva. But I do believe it's like, oh, well, this person is fully like overly confident about themselves, which is not a bad thing. But Peach is very confident. Peach is like, I can dance, I can sing, right? I can do all that stuff. So, and she's very confident within her own right, which is fine. And then last but not least, we have Miss I, which is, why is she here? So they're like surprised that she's here. And the queen chose Punani. But funny thing about it is they didn't choose Punani as like, oh, like they're surprised Punani's here. But a lot of them chose Punani as like an afterthought because they were like it doesn't
Well,
matter. And so that's why Punani got chosen.
no, yeah, I mean, technically, I think it was only two queens that chose Punani, but because everyone else had essentially chosen themselves because nobody wanted to, or like the rest of the queens didn't want to like villainize anyone or insult anyone. They all chose themselves except for those two queens. And one of them even said, I don't remember who said, she's like, I just picked a random one. I didn't mean to. Like, it just so happened to be the same one that somebody else chose.
Yeah.
But I thought her
Yeah.
reaction was
That was
hilarious.
Ellipse. Ellipse was like, she just randomly chose
Yeah.
Punani. Yeah. And she was like, what? Okay. And so Moon randomly wins the mini challenge. Why? I have no idea, but she does. It's like, oh, who's the winner? Moon. And we were like,
I didn't even know there was gonna be
sure.
a winner.
Okay. Mind you, she hadn't mind you, she didn't have any fans. So we were like, how is she the winner? She has no fans. Nobody voted for Moon for anything.
I think it was who got the most accurate
So
ones.
like, oh, probably. But I was like, okay, Moon wins. But then also because Punani, they don't understand why Punani's there. She also gets to win something. So those two become like the captains per se, and they get to choose their teams. So let us get into these girl groups because I think that okay. Let me just share my screen first before I get into that. I would think. Okay, so these are the two teams. Now, in my opinion, there was one team that was better than the other team.
I mean, yeah. I don't mean that in a shade away, but yeah. I think overall the team with Mommy for me kind of performed better as a whole. I just felt like the other team, it was really just the Peace show. And I love that. You know, Peace did great. She performed really well. But for me, the other one was a bit better as like a group.
Oh, really? I thought you was gonna say the orange team was better. I didn't think you was gonna be like the silver team was better. I like the orange team. I thought the orange team did better.
I don't know. I just like again for me it was just more of like yes they did good. They performed well. For me, I think, you know, Peace was the undeniable like star of that group, while the other ones were more equally integrated. I don't even know if that's the right word. But I think they none for them there was no one person outshining the other ones.
Interesting, because I thought La Big Bertha and Mommy Walter did way better than Moon and Missy Phoenix in that group, and I think Ellipse and Peach did better than Punani and Cam Hugh.
I mean, yes, absolutely. But I think even Moon and Misty being the worst of the group, I think they were still better than Hunani and Cam.
Okay, I like Big Bertha. Oh my God, sorry, La Big Bertha. I thought her when she was like she said something and then she was like mommy wata wata like or something and I was like oh that's everything and then mommy Walter came in and said her thing but can we talk about Peach's verse in the girl group challenge that hands down amazing.
Expected that though. Like this is Peach's thing. Like she is a performer, she is a singer, she is a dancer. The bitch pulled out all the stops. Like she did so good. Like I was when the song started, I'm like, okay, get to Peach, get to like I just wanted to see what Peach was gonna do, and she did not. So with Peach, I obviously we knew she was gonna kill it. Like I was really excited to see her more than anyone. What she was gonna do the whole time I was watching. I'm like, just get to Peach already. I just want to see what she does, and she did not disappoint. Like she's a singer, she's a dancer, so this was absolutely her time to shine, and she really kicked it with it.
Agreed. That voice, amazing. I was like, oh my God. I was not expecting it. And I really wanted to know what she was saying about Kiona. I really want to know what she was saying. Like, I honestly want to know what she was saying that they got the judges gagged.
Yes,
Oh my God. I really want to know.
yes. I again, I think they're doing such a disservice to these queens with not subtitling them when they do these girl group challenges. Like we saw the same thing in Brazil, because we want to understand what's going on. Just put subtitles, even if they don't necessarily match the speed of the song. I just want to know what they said.
Right. That's what I want to know. But those are the girl groups. And so, based on that, spoiler, Peach from that team wins and Mommy Walter from the other team wins, and they're the top two of the week. But before we get into that, let's get into these looks. So, the category for the runway is I didn't do anything. Now, at first, I was so confused because every look is different. And then I'm like, it's plastic surgery or just like cosmetics or
Hmm.
something of that nature. And then that's I was like, okay, now I understand because it was like different, I would say, versions of that. And so the first one up is Peach. What did you think?
I gave this an over. I love the idea. I love the execution. I think this was so different. I think it kind of borders into the costume side, but I think it was great. I love this. Props to Peach for pulling this off.
I also give this an over. I thought this is probably hands down one of the best things that we've seen from a creative standpoint on the
Hmm.
runway. Like nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is thinking about doing this.
Yeah, but also, like, I mean, like, this is Peach always served as iconic moments. Like in her original season when she did that Titanic look, amazing. And I think this kind of blew that out of the water, honestly.
Yep, she's coming through with the runways. Next, we have Punani. What did you think?
No, ma'am. I wanted to like this. I love the idea behind it. I think it was a great idea. For me, it just didn't read the way she wanted it to. Like it did not read like skin. It did not read like blood vessels. It was just a great idea. Could have been better executed.
Yeah, I also give this a no, ma'am. I understood the reference, but I don't think the execution came out the way she wanted it to be because this looks like she's just in a red dress with like a thing. It didn't look like this is like a reverse in skin with the vessels and all that stuff like that. So I was like, oh, she kind of missed the mark a little bit with that.
Yeah, I also think this look was too pretty. Like if you're gonna go for that kind of horror aspect, like make it ugly. Like, make it horror. And I think this was the opposite of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there was a one look that was like disgusting,
Hmm.
which would in a good way though, but
Yeah,
it was gross, and I was like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Well, maybe two of them. Two of them was like really weird. Speaking of, is La Big Bertha, and this one, what did you think?
I think this was Nova too. I love the idea about this. Like it made you kind of think. I it was very unsettling in a beautiful way.
Yes. I also gave it an over for that exact reason because it was so unsettling. And I was like, this makes me feel uncomfortable in
Hmm.
the best way.
Yes, yes.
Like,
Like
this is impactful.
this is the way she made me feel about this outfit is how I wanted to feel about Punani's outfit.
I agree. Yes. And the next up, we have Missy Phoenix. What did you think?
It wasn't soft, ma'am. I think it was I like the dress itself. I didn't really like the kind of idea behind it completely, but I think she looked good. It was a cute look. For me, it was just some of the other outfits kind of gave me more of the heebie-jeebies, which I feel like this runway was should have been kind of honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I give this a Met ma'am, only because I thought in the grand scheme of all the other runways, this one just felt a little bit short, felt a little bit safe, and they didn't read as well. Like I know what she was going for. This just didn't read as what I wanted it to read. And I don't think she got like that point across.
Hmm.
All right, next up we have Mommy Walter. What did you think?
Absolute over. I love this. I love the kind of cultural reference behind it. The prostheses were done so well. It was like eerily beautiful. I think she looked great. I love the dress. I love the color. I love everything about this.
Yeah, I gave this a double over too. Like Mommy Walter looks amazing. I think since this by far it's one of the best looks from Mommy Walter in general, but just on Drag Race France runway.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe even
Yeah.
just the runway period.
Yeah. No, this is beautiful in every aspect of like everything from head to toe. She looked great. Again, the prosthetics were done really well. I just loved everything about this.
Yep. And then we have Moon. What did you think?
Moon was an over for me too. I really enjoyed this because this is not at all what I would expect from Moon at all. So for her to go to kind of this masculine side, I think the makeup was done really well. I think she looked great. I love the outfit. Her essentially presenting herself as a drag queen, a trans woman presenting herself as a drag king. This kind of music. A trans person who's typically presents herself as a drag queen, presenting herself as a drag king, I thought was amazing.
Hmm. I give it a yes, ma'am. Not so much an over. I think the prosthetics on her face kind of like threw me off. It kind of took it into like, oh, like playing fun. And so that's just to me, it's just like, well, maybe that was the reason she had like a chiseled jawline, and that was the
Hmm.
cosmetics like of it all. I just think to me it was kind of like, oh, little, I don't know, I didn't really like it, but
I loved it.
amazing look though, because I agree with you. I think it's very different for Moon to come out and play with the masculine side of things. I think it's great. So we have Cam Hugh. What did you think?
This was a no man. I like the idea of it. I think it was just not very. I think it was a little ill-fitting. I think it could have been a great look had it been tailored a little bit better.
I gave it a soft ma'am because I thought it was a good look. I just agree with you on the tailoring. So it
Hmm.
didn't nearly knock all the points down for it to be a no ma'am, but it was very soft. And so I was like, okay, this is also very different. But again, this is very pretty for Kim. Even though it was
Is
not supposed to be, she still looked very pretty. I was like, damn you, Cam. Can you be ugly one day? Just one day. Just for one runway. Be ugly one runway.
I don't think the world would know how to react to that.
No. And then we have ellipse. What did you think?
This was a yes, ma'am. I love kind of the reference to the substance. Uh I think it was a cute look. I think it was creepy, which I loved. For me, it just didn't reach. It didn't give me the same reaction as some of the other looks on this runway did.
Yeah, I gave this a yes, ma'am. Only, but I would have gotten it. To me, the photos an over, but it didn't
Hmm.
read. The photos didn't read like this in person, and that's the only reason why I didn't get an over for me. Because in person on the runway, it didn't look as great as these photos. These photos
Hmm.
look amazing. So obviously, the retouching and all that stuff, and like really making it like much better and all that. I think that would have been over if it looked exactly like the photos. But other than that, still a good look. She did reference to substance. We love this. We live for the substance. We love that movie.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
as stupid as it is, we love it. We love it.
I
Okay.
love it.
So
Ooh, it is stupid. I love it actually. I was gonna say it's not stupid. Yes, it is stupid.
no, it's for sure stupid, Joanne. But we find out that the winner of episode 4 is none other than Mommy Wata. And she eliminates Punani. So another finalist is gone back to back. We had Soda Muse and
That's
now we have
crazy.
Punani. So they're getting rid of all of the competition. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was really sad to see her go. Punani's one of my favorite queens. I think she's great. I just didn't think she was quite delivering this season. So I understand why they sent her home. I think because Cam had been in the bottom before, I think it should have been her time to go. Love Cam, adore her. But if we're going on track record, I think it should have been Cam instead of Punani.
Agreed. All right, now on to episode 5, which is the VIP makeovers. So here we go. Let's get into it. First up, we have Cam Hugh. What did you think?
This was yes, man, for me. I love the idea of it, like them being bitches, like, you know. I love the color, I loved everything about this.
I did not like it. Not because it wasn't a bad look, because it wasn't bad. I didn't like it because to me, it's like I was looking for like drag sisters because that was the prompt. And so I didn't like that they were in masks, right? And I think to me, it kind of took away from the makeover because they just looked like they were in costumes. And so anyone can do a costume like that. And I expected more from Cam Hugh. She's a makeup artist. So I expect her to be able to put somebody else into drag, right? And really make them look pretty and beat their face. But I just think them being like dogs is a cop out.
I mean, I see why you feel that way. I still overall like the looks.
It doesn't take away from that. They're good looks. It's just
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a cop out for me over.
I think you made some very fair points though.
And then next we have Ellipse. What did you think?
I This was like a soft man for me. I think they look great. I think face wise they look great. For me it was just I wasn't a huge fan of the the brown coat. I don't know. I didn't like the color. I think it was a good silhouette. It was just kind of meh, honestly.
I gave it a soft ma'am for the clothes because the
Hmm.
mugs were amazing. The mugs were
Yeah.
so good. And I was like, yes, this is drag sisters. They resemble each other, but the outfits were a no ma'am. So if the face was a yes ma'am and the outfits were a no ma'am, they got a soft ma'am.
Wouldn't this actually be a
It's like, it's in the middle. It would be a meh, but I wasn't going to do that. So I give them one up.
okay, fair enough.
Next up, we have Mommy Wanta. What did you think?
I love the outfits. For me, it's the opposite of Ellipse. I love the outfits. I was not like her makeover partner looked great. They both looked beautiful. But for me, the makeup did not read Mommy Wanta. Like I did not like if you were to isolate them and you were like, who painted this queen? I would have not immediately thought Mommy. So for me, it's a meh. But I love the looks. The looks, the wigs, everything is great. Face wise, I just didn't see the family resemblance.
Okay. I give it a yes, ma'am. I enjoyed it. I thought they both looked great. I see that, what was her name? Diathora. I thought she looked so cute. She was living for the looks. I think they had really amazing chemistry. And then mommy looked amazing. And I think again, right? She has really shown that she has grown from her original
Mhm.
season to being on All Stars now, and so this is a testament to that. So it was a yes man for me. And then we have Moon. What did you think?
I like, I do like the makeup. I love the approach she took with it, and she just wasn't making it pretty because I mean, it's Moon. She's gonna do what she wants to do. I was not a huge fan of the dresses. I didn't really like them. I thought the look was kind of simple. I loved it from the neck up. Did not like the looks. Meh.
I gave this a no, ma'am. I didn't like this at all. I was like so confused as to why she went like this direction for a makeover. Again, I'm like, what is up with these characters for makeovers? Like, it's supposed to be drag sisters. Like, make them, like, use your mug and put your mug on someone else. Like, why would she paint? I've never seen Moon in this kind of like character before. So the fact that she waited until the makeover challenge to do something way outside the box, I was like, why?
I liked it. I thought I liked the creative take on it.
I guess. Then we have La Big Bertha. What did you think?
This was a no man for me. Hated that La Big Bertha did not darken her beard. Well, her partner's beard. I think that was such a missed opportunity. The outfits were not great. I love the comedic aspect of it, but it feels like something we've seen her do before.
I agree. I gave this a, oh my gosh. I don't know. I wrote soft ma'am in my notes, but now that I'm looking at it again, I have to give this a no ma'am. I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't like it now. I don't know. It's something different. I'm just not a fan of it now. I'm like, no, no. Yeah. Poor Bertha. But it
Yeah,
was
I
a no
know.
ma'am for me. Then we have Missy Phoenix. What did you think?
Off, well, I think they look good. I think they look great. They obviously look like sisters. But for me, the look was just a little simple. Besides the wigs, obviously, the wigs are great. I think compared to some of the other queens, it was just a little simple.
I give it a meh. And the only reason why I gave it a meh, ma'am, but the judges were living for it. But the reason why I gave it a meh is because literally the episode before we saw Cam Hugh with the same kind of wig. And so I was like, oh, so they both have the same wig. And so I'm like, can we get a little bit of originality going on? But that's not their fault. It's just that we saw the wig like on Cam. And I think Cam did it better.
And
So
did
I
it
was
better.
like, okay. But I thought they looked cute. They were really funny. She put him in drag and he tucked.
That boy was committed.
And apparently he had a big old thing that he had to tuck. It was like meaty back there. So
I am a
shit.
visual learner. I'm gonna need a demonstration. I'm gonna need an uncensored.
Listen, that's what they said. It was like he tucked it back there and he was like, oh, okay, all right. Go ahead, Alex. So all right. And then last but not least, we have Peach. What did you think?
I love peace. This is a no, ma'am. I think this was like kind of a cop out, honestly. It was kind of an easy thing to do. It was basically a costume, in my opinion. I just wanted her to like, I don't know. This was not it though for me.
I gave it a soft man because yes, it wasn't a costume, absolutely. But I gave it a soft man because the makeover, like, participant, she was so excited to
She
wear that
was.
mustache. And so I was like, I have to give credit where credit is due because she was hilarious. And she wanted to, what was her name? Claudia, I think it
Hmm.
was. She wanted to wear that mustache. And she did. And I was like, okay. And they got points because it was the same color.
True.
Yeah. All right. And the winner of episode 5 is Ellipse. And she eliminates La Big Bertha. So La Big Bertha goes home in episode 5.
That's so sad. I love the Big Bertha. She's so undeniably funny. I'm gonna miss her. But I mean, she did get eliminated once already, so it makes sense.
This is also true. All right. So now that officially ends our recap of Drag Race France, episodes 3, 4, and 5. So, what did you think? Did you enjoy those episodes? Shout out to Peach because that verse is amazing. If somebody can tell me what Peach said, throwing shade to Kiona, please let me know. I need to know. I need all the tea.
Yeah, I agree. I want to know what everyone was thinking about. Somebody, please let us know because WoW does not give subtitles for the verses.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't do it for Brazil and they didn't do it for France. Sad times, sad
Yeah.
times. Well, listen, you know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a single